Hi, I'm Jawa Knight.
And I'm Dooky Dingo, and that's Peyton Manning.
And let's play Enclave, or whatever this terrible baby thing is. Oh, it's Starbreeze Studios.
Peyton Manning discovers HIV.
Did he discover HIV? This is actually one of my favorite parts.
In this, he did.
The menu is all birds for... I have no idea why, but I love it. All of the menus are birds except for like this.
Is it a bird theme? Is there a legitimate bird theme for the rest of the game?
No, not really. It's just sort of like, hey, birds. Yeah, there's 2 campaigns in this game. The dark campaign is only unlocked after you beat the light, so we're going to start where we have to.
Within an ancient tome,
with this big story dump that is like most of the story that you'll get in the whole game.
Is the story of how the rift was formed. Though most cannot recall a time when the rift
is this one of those intros where there's a lot of
and the outlands,
randomly
they were at one time
bolded
unified.
words, or not bolded, but
at that time,
what's the word I'm looking
there
for?
were lands where the very essence of magic was believed to dwell, for they were lush and
where things that this game
like
made up that you have to
quotation
learn.
mark words, or like the rift. I mean, every time they refer to the rift, is it going to be capitalized? That was the word I was looking for. Capitalized words, a bunch of randomly capitalized words.
It would be if this game didn't do all caps as its main font, but yeah, there's a couple things like you need to know the rift.
God, that thing is all mouth.
I love the design of this guy. That is the main baddie, and his name is Vatar.
Of the land and lay claim to it for himself.
His name should have been Halitosis.
I think that's one of his final attacks, is halitosis out of like every orifice on his body. Very, very effective.
When all hope seemed lost and Vatar's victory imminent,
if anyone's really upset about the story and that we're talking over it, I'm sorry, but it's super not important.
The wizard slammed his staff into the ground.
Pictured here, none of the things they're actually talking about. But yeah,
dude has a mouth inside of his mouth. That is so metal.
He's probably one of the most metal bosses of any game I've ever played.
His lower jaw has an upper jaw. That's so weird.
His arm comes out of a mouth. He's got a mouth in his groin and on his side. Mouths on his legs.
Well, I mean, listen, vagina dentata is a very serious medical condition, and it needs to be seen by a doctor immediately. Okay.
Returned to their home.
I don't know of any doctor who would be willing to operate on this guy, but, you know, if we can find one, I'll recommend him.
Dr. Giro? Dr. Strangelove?
I think Dr. Giro might.
Dark and selfish people became known as the
starting off this LP with Dragon Ball Z references.
Let's do it. So, what you missed is there was a big war, and humanity was losing to that guy, because how do you beat that guy? And then a wizard literally splits the earth in half, and that is the great rift that splits like everything else from the Enclave, which is where the story mostly takes place, in the Enclave.
And can even be crossed in certain locations.
And it's getting smaller now. That's really it.
Celebration and rejoicing, such is not the case. For despite the passage of time,
do you know the webcomic Gunner Craig Court?
No, I have never heard of it.
It's a fairly famous one for something awful. A lot of goons really like it, but this sounds a lot like the story of that, where there's one side, the courts, that are all about magic and technology and all this other stuff. Or excuse me, they're more about technology and enlightenment and everything, and making everybody understand how the world works. And then there's the other side, which is more of the fairies and the fae folk and stuff like that.
It's a little bit. Basically,
very much nonsense.
In this game, the rift divides, I guess, generic fantasy civilization from horrible monsters who call themselves the Dragatar. You also sort of missed our character motivation, which is that we didn't want to pay taxes, so we got thrown in jail.
Huh.
This is us, to start.
So, is this some sort of social commentary on not voting for Bernie Sanders?
I have no idea. If it is, they're, 13 years ahead of the curve. 14, damn.
I mean, they are on it.
The rolling thunder of my fellow outlaws.
That is an assassin and will be a playable character in the Dark campaign. I don't know if it's that one.
That lady's gonna be a...
It's one of them. Because,
those are some sweet MC Hammer pants.
yeah, she's pretty styling.
Some bell bottoms, man.
Oh no, killed by her own people. That sucks. But on the other hand,
God, my hubris.
they've freed us. So now, like, the Dregatar have freed us, and our people have put us in jail. So I feel pretty grateful to them. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, so far it seems like they're the good guys.
Right? We certainly will align a little more with them as we are going to, you know, kill everything here and loot it of all its valuables.
Wow, starting off with the sewer level. Huh, okay.
Yeah, you know, start as you mean to go on, I guess. Oh no, we can't go there because it's too dark. So we're going to close this, and I will show you why we do that, because it's actually fairly important.
Maybe you don't need the torch for darkness. Maybe you need the torch to burn off, like, methane gas reserves.
Maybe.
It's really stinky.
I will tell you,
super stinky.
Spoilers, but this is a really clean sewer. That stuff hurts, and it's going to happen a lot this level. There's a lot of shaking because it's a big siege and they're blowing everything up. So we're going to grab our torch. Sometimes you can get this guy to fight you through the grating, which is really nice. That's what I'm trying to do here. But he didn't play, so I'm just leaving.
So your character has spikes on his shoulder, a la Mad Max. That seems like something that the guards probably should have taken away. It's a weapon.
There's also just like a sword sitting in the middle of nowhere, so this is a really poorly maintained jail. Now here, this is why we closed that gate. Here's our first bit of gold, and we will be getting all of the gold in every level of this game. It's up there.
It's literally pots of gold.
Little bags or pots, yeah. Each bag's worth 5, so there's, you know, enough to go around.
Now, wow, this is an exceptionally clean
right?
sewer.
It's dry.
I don't even see any water.
I feel like sewer is the wrong name. Maybe like emergency escape tunnel?
It's just really well made for an emergency thing.
I don't even know. It's really, the architecture here I find pretty bizarre, but as a level I kind of like it.
It's really tall, like it's really high too. Why are the ceilings so high if this is some sort of like aqueduct?
Well,
or...
you know, there's a really great union for sewer workers and they don't want to feel claustrophobic, so.
No, I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so far the Vatar are the bad guys, right?
Vatar is the big bad guy. His people are the Dregatar.
The Dregatar.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the humans' ostensible good guys? What are they called?
The humans who are with us are call themselves the Enclave because they've been separated from the rest of the world by the big hole in the earth.
Okay.
And here's how the combat system works. You kind of click the attack button to swing, and occasionally you'll see a little flash. That's an area of effect attack that you get for having a long combo, and that's really about it. Hit them with the big flashy bit.
So the more you hit them, the more you hit them.
Actually, you don't even have to hit. You just have to go through your combo, and the last few hits of it trigger an AoE. So you can kind of start. You'll see me swing before enemies even get in range. That's sometimes to try and get the explosion bit ready. I love this. This is just a bunch of snotlings getting drunk on our reserves, and they're really not harming me, but they've got something I want. So.
Beer? Booze?
Money.
Is that what you
Get
want?
that money.
Oh, money. Well,
health potions.
You didn't even ask.
No. Dude, we're not. They're going to call us a noble warrior, but we're definitely not. We're just going to murder everything and take all the money in this entire castle. That's a bomb. These base enemies can throw bombs. They're kind of shitty that way.
What a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
In your defense, you were coming to murder them and steal their gold.
It's true.
So, I mean,
well, it may be just the gold of the people who lived here, but either way, I'm taking it.
Okay. So now, like, they're trying to overthrow an oppressive regime.
Well.
And you're looting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just here. I know what's important, and it's money. That's all we're about. That's why we're getting everything. There's the exit to
Money
the level.
over everything. I gotta be honest, the sound design for this game is really good. I'm digging the all of the sound effects, and even the musical score in the background is pretty good.
The presentation is probably one of the best parts of this game. Now here's the gold that took me the longest time to find. Yeah.
Wow.
There we are.
Oh, that's tricky.
That took me years to figure out because I didn't look up a guide. It was just like, God damn it, where is it? Oh, walk along this little ledge. That's kind of lame.
So does our current character have a name, or we
No.
just called him like Jimmy or what?
His name is Knight, but you can call him Murder-Hobo if you'd like.
Join forces.
Murder-Hobo, the best.
He's a real hero
do
we
we
can
have
get behind. Here's another bird menu. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Are these birds gonna show up in other places?
Nope,
Or?
they're just the menus for no discernible or explained reason. This is my favorite one. The world map is a bird
Oh,
with
man.
glasses.
That's really good.
Again, I love the presentation of
pretty
this
rad
game.
bird.
It's a pity the story is not really there or great. But there's other cool things it does. So all of the enemies that you'll see, those are the basic playable classes in the Dark campaign and vice versa. So in the Dark campaign,
You start off as a snotling?
no, you get the Snotling second. You start off as an assassin, but you'll be able to unlock basically or fight everyone you see. Now this is the PC version. This game started out on Xbox, and there were a couple things that really held it back. One was that the jump button was on the right thumbstick, and that's terrible. And two was that the way ranged combat worked was you put the reticle on and this circle would form around them, and as that circle got redder it would do more damage, and it was weird. And now you just shoot them locationally, and if they're not wearing armor there, they take more damage.
Wow. How old is this game?
2002.
And they had location damage? It's pretty good.
You know, it's impressive in a lot of ways. I like this game. The handle fell off there, and so we blew it up with a cannon. That hissing, that's your only warning to get the hell out of the way here. Because that happens, and that will really hurt. And here's our first orc.
So is this orc with a C or orc with a K?
Orc with a C. You can see their names and health bars will appear in the lower right-hand corner.
Oh, okay. They're really not that much taller than the snotlings, it looks like.
No, orcs are not.
Is that a snotling or an assassin?
Orcs are not super beefy in this world. Well, they will be, and they get some pretty cool names. So Snotling is a goblin with no armor. As they get more armored, they get better names, and we're about to meet our first armored goblin. That's just an NPC dude who, man, he doesn't do a lot. So this one is just a goblin because you can see he's got a chest plate.
A little bit of armor, yeah. Okay.
Oh, there went our friend. He's dead now.
He's dead, Jim.
And if he had gold, we would have taken it, but he was poor.
So, how much? I see like 10 out of a, what is that, 100 of
We have 35 out of 100 gold, yeah.
35 out of 100. Okay, well, so let's say that you miss some somewhere. There's a set amount of gold in the entire level. Is there? If you miss some, will it randomly drop from someone else?
Nope,
or is
it's
it always
all
in the same location,
it's all
it
on
drops from
set
the same
enemies and in set places. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But you can go back and replay to pick up the gold you want.
Is there any gold? Okay, so you can go back and get it. Is there any gold pieces that will be locked unless you're using a specific character?
Not as far as I know. There will be some you might not get if you don't rescue certain people. They might give you some.
Oh, so there's like you may actually not save everybody.
Yeah, it's possible to not rescue your extra characters, and they'll die, but you can play again and just unlock them after. It's not like they're permanently gone. That was a headshot.
Is that ever explained in game, like time trial? Yeah, good shot.
No, it's not
Ooh,
explained.
headshots.
It's just sort of a mission-based game.
Okay. Is there an overworld, or is that something we're going to get to later?
Nope. The only overworld is that map through the bird with the glasses on.
Bird face, yep. Bird face killer.
Yep. One of the annoying things about fighting snotlings is you actually have to aim down to hit them a lot. So, yeah.
They've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. They've learned the trick of crouch shotting.
It's devastating, man, if you're not ready. That's why we do the charge attack, by the way. It does twice as much as our normal hit, at least.
A lot of damage, yeah. Wow, that wallpaper is atrocious. Good gravy.
Maybe this place deserved to be burnt down.
So you're really not convincing me that we're the good guys here.
I mean, we're not really. They'll call us the hero, but as I've been replaying, I'm less and less convinced of our status as a noble warrior, and more convinced as our status of a guy who's so attached to money he won't pay taxes in a time of war, and then gets hired to kill and steal money from other people instead of his government. I like this. This is kind of, he broke the ladder, so it just kind of drops down on us. Another fun thing.
Well, that's no good. How is the Murder-Hobo gonna get up there to kill those people?
Fortunately, this is the only guy there, so Murder-Hobo's fine. Just gonna corner him and thrash him. If you see any weapons or items carried on most of the NPCs, those are weapons you can get. We can wield that shield if we want to. It will be ours eventually.
Is it better than what we have? I'm assuming so.
Everything
it's
you get is
shield.
better than what we have, man. We have the worst. If you read the description of our
okay, so this isn't like Dark Souls.
No, you will absolutely need to upgrade your stuff. I mean, I guess you could do a challenge run, but I'm not gonna. This game gets unfair as it is. I'm not gonna make myself, give myself a harder time than I have to. So this level has an overriding theme, which is don't stand by gates.
That is a very sharp and pointy log. Is the tip on fire, or is it just brightly
fairly
painted?
on fire. It could be paint, like day-glow paint, maybe.
Okay, whoever did the job of making the trenches for that gate to fall into place, that was a really good job. That looked really good.
I mean, the contract work at this castle is pretty good in general.
So apparently, the Enclave may be jerks, they may be the bad guys, but they have some excellent Union workers.
Yeah, really. I think that's actually why the Dregatar are attacking, is they want some of those nice Union workers to do projects for them. Maybe they can't afford the fees.
Maybe this is some sort of like... maybe this is some sort of ham-fisted fantasy allegory of the Communist Revolution.
You know, I'd never thought about it that way. I'll have to keep that in mind as we go on. You may notice these guys are shooting a lot more than one arrow at a time. That's a mechanic you can use if you have
three,
bows.
and they're on fire.
And that will kill you if you are not ready. Like, if you get hit with 3 arrows in the wrong place, that's just instant done. You're gone.
Now, do they have a predictable spread, or is it kind of a random spread?
It's fairly predictable. Especially if it's against you, and the thing is that it just goes right at you. That's the spread. If you're using it, it's a little harder to nail with like 8 arrows at a time, but it's possible.
Is it nighttime, or is it just overcast, or why is it so dark? It just seems extremely dark.
It may just be England or fantasy England, so there's just no sun in general.
Okay, so this is fantasy England. It's fantasy England. It's Fangland. I see a sun or the moon or something up there in the sky.
Sure that wasn't a gold piece?
Up in the sky?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Or maybe it was the gold on the HUD. Who knows? Alright, so that's the intro, and now we actually have a second character, so now the thread can choose who they'd like us to play as. And I'm going to show off after this cutscene what all that gold does. But for now, the good guys.
You have done us a great service. Helping in staving off these
You know,
vile
creepy
invaders
mask.
despite
The
your
good guys, you know.
imprisonment is bold, to say the
Yeah, I was
least.
about to say they have slaves.
You expect us
Those
to believe
guys
that
aren't so
these
much
people are loyal
slaves.
to
Are you
us
talking
when
about
they
the
won't
girl?
even pay the taxes that they owe?
I'm talking about the girl.
She's the princess,
the Princess
actually.
Leia outfit. Oh.
Apparently, she
Oh, dear.
chooses to wear that and kneel by her mother's side.
That's yikes.
Right?
It is true that you have committed
No,
a
what
crime
weirds me out is
against
that
I like her Pope hat.
Yet it
the hat is
seems
nice.
you are willing
What
to
freaks
prove
me
your
out is that
loyalty
these
to
red
Sandheim.
weirdos, those
Because
are
of
good
this,
guys.
I
They
will
look
offer
like
you a proposition.
Palpatine servants or something.
If you continue to serve our
Palpatine
cause,
servants mixed
Darth
with
Revan.
that alien
you will
from Resident
receive
Evil
full
4
pardons
that you fight in the
and be
sewers.
embraced as honored warriors henceforth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what those guys look
There
like
is
to
a
me,
merchant
and they talk
named
like it too.
Marcus in the town of Saladia. He is very important to the Enclave, as he is the last merchant willing to transverse the rift and
so
bring us supplies that are badly
Is
needed.
red
if we
the
are to
color
have
of
any
Enclave?
hope of
Is that their
withstanding more
normal
frequent
color or
raids
what?
of the Dregatar.
It's at least the
I have
queen
received
and the
word
wizards'
that
colors.
the
These
Dregatar have
wizards.
assaulted his convoys and attempted to assassinate
Or
him.
Okay.
I mean,
because I was about to say the
must
princess is
be
wearing
protected.
green, which is
We won't survive long
you know,
without him.
the princess.
she looks elfin.
They all look actually fairly elven. Everyone except for, well, Murder-Hobo and a couple other people, but there's a lot of elves in the
Oh,
Enclave.
the bird is so good.
So here we go. I'm going to show you why we collect all the money. Oh, there's another bird. Here's the character select screen.
Another bird.
Just-
There's so many birds.
And that bird's got a pretty sweet skull cap. So here's the upgrade menu. Everything has a set cost, and yeah, I'm just gonna kit us out with the best that we can get right now. Got a bigger sword. The only thing I dislike about that shield,
Spiked
is
shield.
that we can't bash with it. I wish we could, but it just looks really
What?
cool.
Then what's the point of the spikes?
I mean, this game is pretty metal aesthetically. I think it fits.
I'm definitely getting some Mad Max vibes.
Here's our second character, the Huntress.
Wow, the Huntress is she is a lot smaller.
Yeah, the Knight's a pretty big man.
Or she just farther away.
She's in the distance. Man, everyone's small compared to that giant freaking bird. Look at it.
Yeah. Scraw!
I would not want to be a hunter if that's what we
It
go
almost-
against.
It almost makes it seem like the bird is the one that's selling us this stuff. Hey kid, wanna buy a dagger?
What are you buying?
Ron? What are you selling? Can you sell things in this?
Sort of. If you get an item, its value is added to your gold stash down at the bottom. And
You are doing so many things, and I'm lost.
I'm basically just kidding us out. You can buy armor, that's more health. I gave us the short bow because it's the only bow we have. I bought some special arrows. Burst arrows are the main ones. You can stack them. And I got sniper arrows because locational damage is a thing. And man,
Because you're a sniper.
headshots are useful.
Okay.
And that's about it for episode 1. Episode 2 will go rescue a merchant and also steal money from that town.
I look forward to the continued adventures of Murder-Hobo and Bird Friends.
Many, many bird friends abound. If you're watching this as it comes out, please feel free to post in the thread on Something Awful and decide who we go into the next mission as, either the Huntress or the Knight. Thank you for watching, and please join us next time for Let's Play Enclave.